Diko graphic skills with creativity.
Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified when we post new videos.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the graphic design training. I believe we're doing great today. Now, let me still show you. I'm going to show you two things. The first thing is I'm going to show you another tricks that you can use to come up with a monogram logo, as I said in my first video. Then, secondly, I'm going to show you how you can make another type of a logo quite different from monogram logo. Then you are going to comment on the comment section, which one is easy, which one is more presentable. So I want to adjust. I'm going to, at the end of this training, we are going to just oppose. It is we are going to put aside the two logo, then we are going to compare which one is actually user, which one is really friendly to design, which one doesn't need to we doesn't need to crack our brain before we come up with something. So right now I'm going to, with the help of one particular font which I'm going to introduce to you, we're going to make a monogram logo that has to do with a studio, DJ studio, a company. Then we are going to make another logo which is or another type of a logo entirely. So we have different type of a logo which we are going to be looking into, but I'm going to give you base my own logo on two types today. So we are going to make a logo called a monogram logo. Then at the end of the day we make a logo called we do something like, I want to do mascot before, but we won't go into mascot because it's somehow details enough. So for a beginner you might not be able to grab that, but with this one you can come up with a logo. Remember, logo has to do with what combination of letter shapes at time. Mockup is not a logo, it's just a what, it's just an avenue template that we normally use to present our logo. So don't just look at it called a mockup a logo. Mockup is not logo. Your logo is your raw file, which has to do with a combination of initial of a brand or bringing one or two shapes together. Yeah, and it has to be meaningful, relating to your own brand, even starting from the color, the font you are using. So without wasting much of our time, let's start with first monogram logo before we go into other type, because as I said, we have different type of a logo type. We have different types. So we are going with a monogram logo that has to do with initial. So I have the initial with me, which is H N S HNS Studio. Then we are going to design another logo. That one we use a shape, not a text. It's also a monogram logo. Rather, it's a monogram logo with somehow we use a shape to do that. So which fall into two category of logo. So we can call it a monogram logo at time, but calling a monogram logo might not be as perfect. Then we can call it well, look at the Coca-Cola as an example. It's also a monogram logo, but using a stylish text to make it look real. So we go into that and we come up with something. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. Just go in there to your text area. Then we have these three texts, H and X. You can see, right? Then we go into font. So we are using one amazing font called Blackout 2am. Blackout 2am. This font is very easy to get. You can get that at on the Google. It's a free font and it doesn't have a copyright. It's a free font. So you increase the size like this. You can see, right? Increase the size. So after that has been done, the next thing we need to do, we need to improvise to make all these things look real. So I'm going to position this to the center. After position, go back to the shape, crop a shape like this, increase the size, let here exceed a bit. Okay, not need to go beyond that. Then position that to the center as well. Now this has to reach the top. Okay, so send it to the back. position to the center. Remember, there is things that we need to do here because of we change the color. What I'm going to do is to make everything uniform. Then you can see what is happening. So I need to cut out some areas here. So go to my mask. Okay, so getting to the mask, I need to cut out some parts. Okay, let's enable and see. Okay, it's cool. Enable it and see. Adjust, it shouldn't show. So we need to achieve our aim in that regard, just to make everything uniform. Perfect. Okay, so let's put a justice to this as well. Cool. Guess it's cool like this. Don't leave any traces. Okay, so now we can close, go back to the text area, then we change the color to white for us to see. You can see where the mistake is at this junction. See towards that edge, which you need to come down. Okay, so now everything seems to be plumb, right? Very good. So the next thing we need to do before I will close, we need to cut out where the hand ends. Here, reduce the size, cut it out. Perfect. Okay, so we are cutting out that part. So when we place something here, then the hand at the bottom here need to be cut out as well. Just a kind of a sample or decoration. Close this. We can change the color for us to be able to see clearly. So that you will not do what is not right. This is a trickish area. So reduce the size very well. Have an overview of it. When you are satisfied, copy it. Then you are going to position the same thing here. Don't rush. Take your time. Just one. Then you check. Once you are done with that, go back and make it more visible. I reduce the opacity of it to make me see clearly. Now you see the work, right? So what we are going to do, remember, red is very sharp and might not be able to be removed. Okay, so instead of that, click on white, choose white. Come in here again, choose white. After that, we are going to change the entire stuff. So coming here, we are changing the color to black. Coming here, we change this to black. Okay, now you can see what I'm talking about. Now when that has been done, we are going to merge everything together. After merging, we go to erase color. Erase the color, then enable. There shouldn't be any mistake. Enable. The smooth should be enabled well. Then when that has been done, the next thing we need to do, we have our logo. It's not in there. We are going to the shape. Choose from the shape preference. Reduce the size a bit. Reduce. reduce the size, position it to the center. After positioning, change the color, go back to the mask, enable the mask, turn on the grid as a ruler. Now adjust your marks to divide it into two. Make sure you are not rushing. Enable to cut out one particular part, but should be out, not in. We are going to do other way around later. Okay, reduce the size, use it to center this particular place. Okay, you can bring it down a bit, not up. Bring it down. Very good. Let the mouth go like that. Change the color. Okay, it's cool. Now cancel this. Why are you copying? When you copy, go back to the mask, then click in at this level. When you click in, go back to 3D rotation, not this, the XY axis, make it to come down. And why this going in? Sorry. So for us to see clearly, we need to rotate this back. Then we have this. We can quickly make this. Tap. Nothing like changing. Don't change anything. So if you don't change, so you can bring this one in as you select. Let there be rotation. Okay, perfect. So after rotation, go in there, rotate it yourself. It has to work. Okay, the size can still be reduced if you want. Okay, perfect. Okay, so change the color to something black to see the preview. We are going to do the same thing here. Change the color to something black to see the preview. We can shift this one in a little bit, just a bit. Okay, cool. Now we have our logo ready. What we are going to do next, tap on this, move it out a bit. Okay, move it out. We are going to do the same thing here. Move it out. Sorry, perfect. Now the next thing is to merge. Let's merge it together. Okay, cool. So now that we have this, the next thing we're going to do is to go to the color. I'm going to give it gradient color. So this, how did I achieve this? You can see there are three key color here. Then I tap on this first one, go to color bucket. Then you can see I just adjust a little bit, just adjustment. Then you use this one at the middle to make it look more illuminated at the middle. So I adjust this a little bit, move this is the same color, just the adjustment matter. But the third one, I pick the same color family, but this needs to be adjusted to make it more darker. Then everything is seemed to be plumb. I've never tested it, but I know it will be cool. Then the next thing I want to do right now is to make sure that this one is more or less brighter than as I than expected. So I want to make it more. Okay, not as this. Why this one we carry not really plumb. Okay, so will be something darker at the top. Why this one we carry something like white. So you rotate the key, then you position. Then when you see it, you can just adjust it yourself. So where you want this deeper to be showing well, you adjust. It's just a kind of adjustment. Now we have our things at our hands. So the next thing I want to do now is to apply shadow. Apply a little shadow for it to make it more obvious. Tap on this plus sign and reduce towards the edge. Then your offset Y should be increased to 4 or 5. Recheck again to make sure the shadow is not too much. When you are able to justify with that, the next thing you are going to do is to apply what? Apply the background. So which kind of a background am I using? I want to make use of this because it will really work with it. Now I will position this here. Everything look jam-packed, right? No wahala. What we are going to do next is this. I've not finished. What we are going to do next is to click on the shape, cover as we did in the previous post, so that we can do the right thing. But we need to adjust this. This color cannot go with black. So what I'm going to do next, after selecting this, tap on this and edit the background. Go into the contrast or saturation. Go to saturation, then reduce the saturation. Well, reduce the saturation to 0. Let's hide this first and deal with this. You can see now that this is coming up. When you deal with saturation, then you go to the brightness, reduce the brightness as well a little bit. This one will give us the better result we want. Reduce it to 7. Then you can see what I'm seeing here. When you are able to do that, then we can bring in this particular shape we selected, position it on top of this, go to the color, enable the color, give it a black color. Give it black color. So when you give it a black color, go to opacity, reduce the opacity to something like 50, enable the affect shadow. Then after that, you bring it to the back. Then we have our logo at our hands, and then we position that here. If it is too more visible, we have what we need to do. But before that will be done, we have to go to this place and type studio to complete our logo setup. So now when you have that, I'm thinking of using one particular font called Velo. We have Velo. So let's check. It came to my mind. This is the Velo boot. So can this work with it? Okay, it should be able to work. So let's use a Velo boot, which will be able to go and change all this to small letter. Only the beginning should be the capital letter. So after you have done with that, we can now increase the size. But what you need to do at this junction is to make sure that this is not going outside this. And that's why I'm still thinking of changing the font to Latif font. We have a font called Latif font. I believe that one might be able to cool and will not give me any stress in placing this. If that doesn't work, then there is no cause for alarm. I will have to use a stretch font. I want a font that can blend along with this thing we are doing. Okay, you can see what I'm saying. So the stretch font will not be able to go outside the line. You can see, right? So now we position that around here. Just leave a breathing space. Now what we are going to do is to space the alphabet. After spacing it, reduce the size to something like 57 if possible. When you reduce that, you can still space let there be space, more space in between the alphabet. After you're able to do that, then you now maintain the alignment by make sure that everything really sets and uniform. So let there be breathing space as well. Don't let it be jam packed. Okay, so leave a space. Then you can look at it. Very amazing. The color needs to be changed as well. Just go to the gradient. Don't stress yourself. Tap any of this color. Hide everything at one corner. Position this on top of it. This is the only one I'm using. Then it should be able to go with it. And we are done with our logo. Is this not amazing? It's amazing. So my dear brother, you have no excuse. You can use your smartphone to achieve amazingly. Just learn how it is being done. Then you're adding more value to yourself. If you're a business owner, you can do this on your own as well. Just pay more attention and you run things by yourself. And if you're a designer, stop your boring design. Be creative. Learn how it is being done so that you can at least profile a solution to businesses. Thanks for watching. I believe this is what this is amazing and this help a lot. Don't forget, if you are new to my channel, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the bell icon so that you can be notified whenever I update my channel with amazing video like this. And don't forget, if you are my subscriber and you hit the the notification bell icon before, don't forget to share, comment, like, and let me know if you have any issue with this design. Maybe you can't find it, you find it difficult to come up with one using your own idea or using your own brand name. Thanks for watching once again. God bless you. Wait for my next tutorial where I'm going to show you different way that we can make our monogram logo without text, but we use just a shape. See you in the next class.